Unpopular opinion, homeowners should not be buying HVAC. Now, what do I mean by that? I think there is a huge gap in knowledge for a lot of folks that are spending money. And I'm not saying you need to know all the ins and outs of what you're spending money on, but unfortunately, our industry has opened the door for homeowners that are ignorant to certain things to be taken advantage of. It's the whole reason I created my website, newhvacguide.com. As time has gone on, I've learned that there are homeowners that are spending money, that are literally buying the largest investment for their home in some cases, and they're being taken for a ride and they don't even know it. I remember helping someone on our website a few weeks ago, and he was asking me a question about his heat pump system with a furnace, which in our world, we call that a dual fuel system. And so I simply pointed out a few things about balance point and what the temperature should be set at with a dual fuel system. And you could tell that I lost him really quick. And by the way, I'm not knocking him. I don't know anything about a whole lot of other things, right? I don't know anything about medical things, but yet I seem to, from time to time, have to spend money on that, right? But I think if you stick around to the end of this video, I think I can give you a few things, a few tips that might help you with that ignorant side of things, that might help you with making these purchases and making sure that you're not being taken for a ride. But as I was helping this guy the other day and we started talking about what exactly a dual fuel system is, it made me realize once again that even on this YouTube channel, sometimes I'm up here talking on level 15 and some folks are still down here on level 2 or maybe even level 1. And learning what exactly a dual fuel system is or what exactly a legacy 24-volt thermostat is, right? It's really the whole reason on our website, on our guide, that anyone that goes through that, the very first step is we actually go through some of the most common HVAC systems out there and what exactly they are. And so that's our problem. What do we do about it? What do you do about it? Well, the first thing I think you should do is find the right contractor and find one that does a few things if you can. Unfortunately, some of you that I've talked to on our website, you're calling multiple contractors. Maybe you're in a rural area and options are limited and you've kind of got to pick the lesser of two evils in some cases, right? But for those of you that have lots of options, I want to find a contractor that is willing to educate me. What exactly are you doing here? Are you installing, or is it okay if I ask questions? Find that contractor that is willing to have that communication, big or small. I don't think that matters so much as having a contractor that at the end of the day, they're willing to be transparent and have those conversations. And on the flip side of that coin, I think our second thing here is you should be trying to get educated as much as you can, whether it's watching my content or someone else's. But as you continue to educate yourself, I think that it's okay to test some of these contractors, right? If you are meeting someone new for the first time and you've now learned what a dual fuel system is, ask them a couple questions and make sure that what they're telling you is lining up with what you're hearing or learning as you go through this process. Now, obviously there's exceptions to every rule, and there's times when maybe you thought one thing and they were able to answer that question. But even if you are misinformed after you watch something or read something online, I think just, again, having those conversations and seeing if what they're giving you back feels okay, right? If it doesn't feel grubby or salesy, they're just trying to answer your question and help you make an informed decision. That's at the end of the day here, what we're trying to do. Not try to sell something, try to help our customers. If I'm the contractor, I want to help them make an informed decision. I just had a guy tonight say, hey, should I buy a single stage or a 2-stage system? And I started asking him questions. I didn't have a definitive answer to his question. I didn't say, oh, just go with the more expensive one right out the gate. Obviously, I don't have a dog in the race. I'm not trying to get a higher commission here. I want the guy to make a good decision. And so that kind of leads me right into my last bit of advice, if you were my own family, that maybe I would give you. And that is, hopefully you can find someone that gives you the warm fuzzies. Find a contractor that not only are they transparent and they're answering your questions and they're giving you a fair price, maybe not a cheap price, but at least a fair price. But they're giving you those warm fuzzies. The type of company you want to do business with, you want them in your home. And if you've got to bite the bullet and spend this kind of money, you want it to go to this company. You want the sale to go to that company. And the last thing I'll say, aside from finding the right contractor and taking their advice and hopefully getting the warm fuzzies, is don't take advice from some blog or even some YouTube channel. There's guys making videos out there right now and they'll say, oh, only buy this type of system or only buy this type of brand or whatever. I have my brand preferences too. If you continue to watch more and more of my videos, you'll find out some I don't like, some I do like, right? But that's sort of a preference thing in some cases. Maybe the experiences that I've had that were bad with one brand might be good with someone else. They might be great for them. What I told this guy that I was helping tonight when he was asking me about the single stage and the two stage, we were talking about a number of different things. But the one thing I did tell him is, listen, I'm going to defer to your local pros on that. They were telling him to get a package unit for his house, and he had read some things online and maybe the pros and cons. I've talked about that on my YouTube channel. The challenges that a package unit has sitting out in the elements that a split system simply doesn't. But every house is different. They don't make package units for no reason. There are reasons why they make them. And in your situation, maybe your pro might say to you, hey, listen, you should get a package unit, and here's why. Or, hey, I think your house is a great candidate for one of these new technologies. Maybe we can go ductless or if not ductless, at least a mini split type system. They've come a long way. They're super efficient. You don't have to have backup heat strips or burn a fossil fuel in your home when maybe in the past you would have. Take the advice from your local pros. They know what they're doing in your area, and every area is different. It drives me nuts when someone from a different state comes to our area and tries to tell me what makes more sense because of where they came from, not understanding that where I live on the coast of Virginia, it's a very unique climate. It's not as hot as some parts of the country, but it is just as humid in some cases. So maybe we don't have as long of run times, but humidity is still a big problem. Plays a big role in our sizing. It plays a big role in how we address indoor air quality and so on. So I know I'm kind of rambling and I'm trying to give someone some advice. If you are in the market for a heating and air system, maybe you're looking at our website and you're looking at trying to get some advice on buying that heating and air system. At the end of the day, you're about to make a big purchase. And I just think I wanted to just do this to say ignorance is a real thing. You don't know what you don't know. And doing some of these things hopefully will help you make a good decision and make a good investment. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I do my best to read all of them. If you like this video, I think you'll like this one even more. It's where I talk about a big problem with HVAC warranties I think every homeowner should know. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button for more HVAC tips. We'll see you next time.